Well, hey mamas, welcome to another video all about getting ready for parent-teacher conferences. Today's focus is on communication. And that's what I wanted to say. We're talking about talking and emailing and phone calls and conversations. We are going to figure out, is it you mama that should be doing the reaching out to teachers? Are there things that your teen, no matter if you're talking middle school, high school, or college kiddo, can do to self advocate? So let's talk about talking. Mamas, let me know. Is your teen good at self advocating? And whatever good means to you, I want to know down below. If you want to share some examples, I'd love to hear them. And do know self advocating is one of the study skills I teach in my Love to Learn program. So, if you would like your teen to get really, really good at studying, let alone self advocating, would love to talk to you after the video. There's a link to schedule a free consultation. All right, communication. What does it look like at school? Well, today's video, we're going to talk about you versus your teen. And then in the next video, we're going to talk about the where. So the emails versus the face-to-face conversations versus those phone calls. So today, let's just talk about who should be advocating. Okay. So number one, mamas, I love you. Your teens love you, but you can help too much. Okay. You mean well when you reach out to the teachers directly. You mean well when you schedule appointments with them, when you go above and beyond to get a hold of your child's teachers. But there is a point when you're reaching out too much. Now, I also know that your teens don't necessarily know how to self advocate. Okay. I totally get that. That's the reason self advocacy is one of the study skills I teach, because literally their brains at a certain age don't know how to advocate. Okay, so not until like our 20s that our brains are fully developed. So you might be going, Jessyka, of course I'm going to advocate for my child, because how can my teen, who doesn't have the brain literally power ability to do it, advocate? And what I encourage you mamas to think about is, what are the ways that you ask for help every day? What are the ways that your teen asks you for help? Or what are the ways that your child could ask for help? Okay, because that's something I think our teens don't always understand, is that things that we do at home, we do in the classroom, and then we also do kind of out in the real world, outside of home, outside of school, and vice versa. Okay, so if your teen generally sends you texts with questions, okay, well, what's the text version of talking to the teacher? Okay, if your teen generally is only willing to talk to you about certain stuff, or certain times a day, or like always approaches it a certain way, is there any way your teen can do that at school? Okay, or with a coach, or with some other adult in his or her life? Okay. Something else I would tell you, mamas, is that a lot of teachers, I've heard this many, many times and probably will continue to hear it, many teachers would rather hear from your teen than from you. Okay. It's not that they don't want to talk to you, mama. It's just they want your teens to form that relationship, to kind of honor that relationship, to respect it, to let alone build it, and let their teachers know what's going on. Now, more thoughts to share with you. I want to dive into this more. And if you have questions, comments, you want to guide us a certain direction, feel free to share. But do know we're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube right now. I'm Jessyka Coulter, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. I'm a study skills tutor, so I am definitely an expert at this whole self-advocating thing, this whole loving to learn thing, and learning actually how to learn. So if you are interested in learning more, be sure to subscribe. Be sure to follow. So let's talk about this whole mamas advocating versus teens advocating, and teens advocating first. So we talked about maybe how does your teen want to advocate, but I also want you to realize that advocating doesn't have to be complicated. Okay. One of the things I mention in my course when I go through this module with teens is we go through, what does advocating look like? Okay. Literally your teen asking a question in class, that's advocating, whether that's raising a hand, whether that's stopping by between classes, whether that's sending an email, whether it's asking a friend. Okay, it doesn't even have to be the teacher directly, or it could even be asking you a question, mamas, or another adult, or just another student. Okay, or just just anybody. So our teens can advocate multiple different ways. Okay. Now the thing is that first attempt at advocating might go really well. It might not go well at all. But when you walk into parent-teacher conferences, your wow, your child's teacher is going to say, yes, your teen, asks questions in class. He raises his hands. Or the teacher's going to say, yeah, he stopped by school a couple times. We've worked through homework together. Or you might hear, I had no idea your child was struggling because he doesn't ask questions. Or it could be, I wish your child would come to me during seminar or during study hall because his last couple test scores haven't been good. Or I haven't seen any homework, so I don't really know what's going on. Okay. So that's something else I'd like to mention, mamas, is I know a lot of students, a lot of parents, and we've talked about grades already through this series, but the whole homework debate, I always want your teens to do homework for the sake of grades, but even more importantly, for the sake of practice, and maybe even more importantly than the practice, is so the teacher knows what's going on, okay? In a way, doing homework, turning it in, making an attempt is advocating. Okay. And even more so when your teen actually goes to ask questions. Okay. What else do I want to tell you, mamas, about advocating? Well, do you know, mamas, unfortunately, I've had this experience with some of my students, that teachers will respond better to you. And, you maybe have already experienced that. And in that case, definitely encourage you to be the one to, take some steps, whether it's emails, calls, meetings, whatever, but also do know your teen needs to advocate first. Okay. I don't want your teen to send an email and then wait 2 days and be like, I haven't heard anything. Okay, mom, now I need you to send an email. Like, that's not enough. Okay. We need your teen to stop by between classes, to send an email, and then maybe follow up in class the next day. Okay. Now, if the teacher tells your teen, hey, I never got your email, okay, well, that's kind of a problem. So that's going to be something we'll dive into tomorrow when we talk about the how to advocate, like the methods. But definitely by your teen sending the email and then talking to the teacher about the email. Hey, did you get my email? That's already 2 times your child has self-advocated. Okay. So definitely do know, mamas, it's awesome when you reach out. It's awesome when you do the work for your teen, but it's not what I want you to do first and always. Okay. You advocating as a backup. Okay. You reaching out is to support your child, to maybe follow up and say, hey, my teen has sent an email. My teen has tried talking to you about this, and, we're not understanding your responses. We're wondering if we're missing them. And you can kind of always play it that way as well, where, you kind of lead with grace. You lead with, I'm not sure what's going on, instead of you did this. Okay. We don't want to play the blame game. Don't want to play the blame game, no matter if it's face-to-face, sitting down in a conference, whether it's in a phone call, email, anything like that. Okay. We try to be nice to start. It's not always easy because some people we know, we get along really well with, and some people it's just a little rough to start with. Like, just sometimes that's how it is. But that's where those soft skills come in, those interpersonal skills, those people skills. That's a whole nother study skill. Okay. So, point of the video, mamas. The thing I want you to walk away with is, number 1, knowing that it's your teen's responsibility to self-advocate. It's your teen's responsibility to do something as simple as raising hands in class, stopping by between classes, sending a teacher an email, or even just letting the teacher know, hey, I am confused. Okay, maybe your teen can't say the words, I need help, or would you help me? Because sometimes that's really hard, and that takes practice. But even if your teen says, I don't understand, that's a big step towards self-advocacy. Okay, now there's a difference between your teen saying, I don't get it, shrugging it off and not caring, and there's a difference between your teen really being vulnerable and saying, hey, look, I just don't get this. Okay. Big difference. big difference. And, mamas, you probably know the difference. And your teen's teachers will eventually learn them only if your teen makes the teacher aware that, hey, I could use some help, or even starts to form that relationship like we've talked about in past videos, especially at the beginning of a school year, the beginning of a semester. So thank you for watching. Be sure to schedule a free consultation. If we have not talked yet, that link is in the description waiting for you. If you want this year's conferences to be the best conferences ever, because your teen is participating in class, has awesome grades, is loving this thing called school, this thing called learning, and the teachers notice. And so you hear things, hey, I love having your kid in class, or wow, your teen's doing really, really well. It starts with a consultation. So pick a day, pick a time when you click that link down below. Thank you so much. See you in the next video, mamas.